People are so sure that, listen, everything is on point, and then it just so turns out that you keep meeting the same person in a different body. You keep having the same issues. You keep Welcome back to Mental Health Matters. Welcome back to the channel with me. Of course, we are here to talk about real issues. We are here to talk about everything and anything that affects our mental health. And this week, I'm so excited because we are looking into something that affects everyone. There isn't a single person who can say, I cannot relate to this. Everyone is affected. Their mental health is affected by these factors. And of course, we are going to be looking into dating, relationships, compatibility, feminism, toxic masculinity, ego, and expectations. So we have all these topics in just one big pot, and we are going to be cooking and stirring this pot. So let's get into it. Okay, so I went to my people on Instagram, and I had, a series of questions, only 5 questions that I wanted to ask my most valuable peeps. And I got the answers that I need. If you're not following me on Instagram, please make sure to do so, because most of the time, this is where I get to hear your voice. I get to see exactly what is going on the other side, because I can't be here really giving my perspective. Everyone's perspectives are very important. So I asked the most basic questions, but the most important was about attraction, because remember, when we are interested in dating, when we are getting into a relationship or forming some kind of partnership or bond, of course, you have to be attracted to someone. You have to have that one thing that's just going to draw you in, that one thing that is going to, pull you in or pull that person in. So attraction is the basic, most fundamental thing. And that's exactly my first question, or rather, a phrase that people had to complete. So I said something like, attraction to me is, and of course, 20% of my people said that this is someone who looks good. Okay. And then 0% has the same interests, but 30% would be someone who is able to match most of their personality. And the highest score, which is 50%, would be someone who is emotionally available. That would be the most attractive person to them. Now, I think this says a lot. And what does it say, especially when it comes to the whole idea behind dating and relationships? What it says to us is that it is an emotional thing. It's always an emotional thing. It's always your emotions that are going to connect you to somebody else. It's always your emotions that are going to lead you into that partnership, that are going to lead you into that thing. There's no way that you can just get in with no emotion, without feeling anything, and decide that, hey, actually, I'm attracted to this person, or I think, we can do something, we can learn about each other, and so on. So we need to understand that, number one, that our emotions are at the core, the foundation of this whole entire thing. So the people have spoken, 50% would be emotional availability. Now, I just got a little bit confused, as much as I'm the one that formulated all these questions and phrases. I got a little bit confused, and I was like, but what is emotional availability? Do we have the same meaning for emotional availability? So, I I kind of looked it up there and there, and what I got, of course, is the fact that, you can relate emotionally. You understand how another person feels, and they understand how you feel. You are able to freely express your ideas. You are able to express how you feel, and there's an understanding. There's a reaction. A person is just not going to chill and just watch you react, but they will be able to understand. They will be able to also give you a reaction or a response because they have the emotional availability. But also, I was just like, it so happens that a lot of people can be attracted to people that are not emotionally available as much as they claim that emotional availability is important. Why am I saying this? Because, for example, you get people that lack communication skills. So when people lack communication skills, how are you going to tell? How are you going to determine whether or not this person is emotionally available? Because they are not expressing anything most of the time. You find that you are the one that is constantly expressing everything. You're just constantly expressing everything. You are just constantly saying how you feel. You're just saying what you think. You're just saying how you would feel, how you felt, everything. But you get this person who is not responsive, and it's not even about the response or the reaction. They are not opening up about how they feel and what they think. They have difficulties doing that. And this leads me to toxic masculinity, because whether we like it or not, we are not going to deny the fact that males have a hard time opening up and sharing how they feel and what they think. Now, the thing is, what is happening in society nowadays is that people misunderstand this concept of opening up and saying how you feel. Of course, a male person is not necessarily going to express how they feel, just like a female would, just like a woman would, just like a girl would. The way maybe they would express it is completely different. It's maybe mostly from a logical point of view, whatever the case is. But it's almost like, for a certain group of males, we are saying, society is saying to you, oh, you need to express how you feel, meaning you need to do it the way we do it or the way any other gender does it. And that is not the case. The thing is about communication, we don't really know what is going on, which makes you emotionally unavailable. It makes you emotionally unavailable. If a person cannot share their ideas, if a person cannot express how they feel, then how are they compatible with you while you are the one who is constantly running your mouth, who is constantly saying how you feel, saying what you think, even when it comes to sharing ideas, even when it comes to shared activities? What is it that you want to do together? You're always the one coming up with ideas. That is a sign of emotional unavailability, in my opinion, because I don't really know how you feel about the options that I am presenting. And if I am the decision maker, if I am constantly making the decisions, then I don't know if you feel uncomfortable or you are feeling uncomfortable. So it really is a very big thing. We need to redefine emotional availability, because I think there is, a lot to it. And I really think that there is a misunderstanding. Am I saying that there is one standard definition? I don't think there's one standard definition, but what does it mean for you? Because you cannot say that someone is emotionally available, but they lack the communication skills. And someone would say, oh, you know what? It's a matter of being an introvert. He's more of an introvert and I am more of an extrovert. Then that makes the both of you incompatible, because when it comes to the most important thing that is running this situationship or this relationship or partnership, communication is the one that is run. It's like oxygen. It's running this thing, because if there is a lack, or if one party or one person has more skills or is more openly communicative than you, then it might just so happen that there is a big issue with compatibility, and that leads to a lot of problems. And people fail to recognize this. We fail to recognize this at the get-go, from the beginning, as to, is this person communicating? Is this person expressing exactly what is going on? And so I think it messes up a lot of issues. And the deeper you go into a situation ignoring this factor, then it becomes very, very bad. Because for some people, and I'm not going to say whether it's, more females or males or what, I'm not going to categorize it, because it can really be anybody in a relationship or in a situation. For some people, when they're not communicating, they find ways to express their grievances. They find ways to express how they really feel, and they start doing things to express their unhappiness or discontent or something that's just not right. This is why we have infidelity in, situations where you are committed, of course, or in a serious situations, and we have other habits that you don't understand about a person. It's like, oh my gosh, like it feels like this person is a completely different person compared to when I met them, because it's like, what is going on? Why are they not expressing how they feel, but they are reacting in a certain type of way, which means there is a big incompatibility issue. And then, of course, I went into compatibility itself, because that is the core. This is the reason why. This is the reason why I made this video, because compatibility is an issue. Incompatibility is killing our people. People are not compatible, but they are sure. People are so sure that, listen, everything is on point. And then it just so turns out that you keep meeting the same person in a different body. You keep having the same issues. You continue in this cycle of unhappiness and issues in relationships and dating. You just don't understand what's going on because of compatibility, or rather incompatibility. And so I asked my people and I said, what does compatibility mean to you? So compatibility means 7%, which is the lowest, said we like the same things. And then 13% said we have a similar background. So when we are compatible. 47%, which is the highest, said we share goals about the future. 33% said someone who can meet my needs. I think what I've said is very evident, and we have different situations. We are different people. We are complex beings. We are shaped by so many things, but there are basic things that are standard for everyone. There are basic things that are going to be common or consistent for most people, at least. Not everybody, but for most people, at least. And I'm concerned, because if compatibility is about sharing goals about the future, then that's just one piece of the pie. What about the whole entire thing? What about the fact that you have more or less similar backgrounds? Why am I saying that? Because if you do have similar backgrounds, then it's going to affect your expectations. You are going to have more or less the same goals, more or less the same expectations. They're always going to be under the same section. They're not going to diverge and go into different sides completely. One is in Cape Town, the other one is in Durban, the other one is... No, you're going to have an understanding of what shapes you. Why do you think the way that you do? Why do you feel the way that you do? Because you have a similar background. You have similar experiences. So, in as much as we are talking about goals, having the same goals and plans for the future, how about we also look at having similarities in terms of where we come from? Because if we do have similar experiences, then we are going to be more or less on the same level, or at least someone is going to be at a much higher level but is able to aid the other person, because the person that person has also been there. You've been there, so you are able to understand exactly what's going on. You're able to support each other. You're able to be like, okay, I know what's going on here. We can handle it. Now, if you don't have any similarity, not even one similarity in terms of background or anything, then there's going to be a lot of conflict, especially about the very same future goals, because I might want something that is completely different. You also want something that is completely different. Yet I am attracted to you. I like you. I love you. I want to be with you, type of thing. But I am having a hard time because I have to drag you along to my level. I have to make sure you're at my level. I'm up there. I'm on a 10, you're on a 2, and I'm constantly dragging you. And we know that when we are dragging something, it's hard, it's painful, there's a lot of pressure, it's tiring. So that is something that we really need to look into. And then we had the 33%, which said that someone who can meet my needs. My thing is, how can someone meet your needs if you don't understand their background? You don't understand where they come from. You don't understand, because you need to understand the background to understand what is going on now. So if I meet you and I'm attracted to you, I will be able to tell instantly. I will be able to tell that you are capable of meeting my needs, or I am capable of meeting your needs, vice versa, because it's a give and take at the end of the day. Whatever that means to you, needs are different for different people. But how do I get to that point if I don't understand where you come from, if I don't understand your background, if I don't understand what makes you move the way that you do? Why do you do the things that you do? So we need to include everything, every section in this big piece of compatibility pie, or compatibility cake, whatever. We need to include everything. The same things, similar background. That is number one. Then we can look into goals and needs. So I think that was really a very powerful one for me, because this is the reason why, like I said, that I was inspired to do this, because of the lack of incompatibility in most situations. So moving right along, I went into, the biggest issue, which is infidelity, which is cheating. And I just wanted to hear what the people are saying about this. And actually, my phrase was, people that cheat are. The majority, which is 53%, are dishonest. They are lying, they're conniving, they're dishonest. Yes, definitely, because you are not being honest. What is your issue? What's going on? Why? If you're not interested anymore, why don't you say it? Say it. Of course I'm going to be hurt, because the first thing that attracted me was emotion. I was emotionally attracted, so I am going to be hurt. I am going to be, oh no, I don't want to hurt you, but I didn't want to hurt you, but I am going to be hurt. Like, I didn't just walk in here with my mind and my logic. I walked in here in whatever situation with my emotions. I was attracted first from an emotional level, and then, the other aspects came into place. So I agree. I mean, that is at the core. So we have someone who is dishonest, but or do we ever look at what makes dishonesty or what makes people to be dishonest? We can't figure it out, right? Why? Because we don't know anything about that background. Going back to the issue about compatibility, we don't know what happened. Maybe this person got cheated on, but they did not communicate that. Things got deeper, things got serious. They didn't communicate that. They got cheated on. They're feeling ashamed. They don't want to talk about it. You go on and go on. You don't know anything, and so they are feeling this. They feel the need to be dishonest and cheat on you too, because they are thinking, I'm not going to get cheated on again. What if she might cheat on me? What if he might cheat on me as well? So I'm going to do it first. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of hurt around this thing. And trust issues was 7%. And I feel like trust issues should have been more, because it's exactly what I just said. If you are going to lie, it means you are feeling insecure about something. It means you are not trusting that your truth will be accepted. 27% said that they don't want to grow up. They still want to play. I think if I had to expand this, they still want to play around. They don't want to grow up. And I think it goes into the issue about future goals, right? And background also. Everything comes back to think about it. Everything comes back to the background. Everything comes down to the back. Who are you? Where have you been? What happened? What happened? So they don't want to grow up. Yes, they're still stuck in maybe old tendencies. Some people generally do not want to grow up. They want to be babied forever. And 13% only said have been hurt before. So I hope that we realize that the dishonesty, number one, which is the majority, is caused by, number two, trust issues, don't want to grow up, been hurt before, and many other issues that you can find out if you are able to make sure that you're compatible and have a similar background or have similarities in your background. Okay, so I then moved on to more interesting points of views, because I mean, we live in a completely different era right now, and there is a lot that is going on about feminism. There's a lot that is going on, and for the most part, a lot of people are saying, oh, feminism is not real, feminism is not right. Feminism means that, well, the other side, the other gender, is saying that they want to be like us, they want to be like males, they want to be like men. But also on the other side, we are saying that no, we just want to be first, we just want to be acknowledged as human beings. Okay, well, let me just be serious about this. So I think that feminism is just there to emphasize the fact that females or women have a voice. They have feelings. They too need to be heard. They too need to be acknowledged. That is me. But, I don't think it's a matter of, are you a feminist or not? Do you believe in feminism or not? I don't think so. But I needed to ask these questions so that I can tap into feminism, like I said, and also toxic masculinity a little bit more. And so I went on to ask a very interesting question, which is, females in relationships have to be. So what is the expectation around females in relationships if you are the female or identify yourself as a female or the feminine side of things, or in a dating situation when you are out there, trying to get yourself out there and learning about other people. So the phrase that I used was females in relationships have to be. Now, 14% said females have to be nurturing and sensitive. Okay, they need to be nurturing and sensitive, like, oh, everything should just be like down to earth, nurturing. How you feeling? Okay, never mind that. But nurturing and sensitive, 14%, and then 0% said take care of non-financial things. Okay, so everybody is saying that's not an excuse. They obviously have to play a role financially. We are people, we play roles financially, and I'm not going to lie, relationships, dating is a financial thing. There's a very big financial part of it. We can't ignore that. And I think that we can see that people are very neutral. We are not living in a time where people are still very extremist, meaning too patriarchal or too feminist or something like that, especially when it comes to the equal role, because everyone just wants to experience fairness, in everything, and that is a really good thing. So this also affects a very big part of compatibility. Why did I ask this question? Because there are people that genuinely believe that if you are the feminine side or the female, you have to uphold certain standards, you have to play certain roles that cannot be played by the male counterpart or the male. So when we look at background, when we are able to know, if I'm able to know your values, if I'm able to know what you really believe in terms of roles, and if you communicate that, then I can easily tell if I am compatible or incompatible. If you expect me to play a certain type of role because of gender, because of this, then I can easily just say, okay, this is not working for me, or this is working for me. So it really makes it manageable. It makes it easier for us not to experience issues in the future that are going to be so hard to break out of. And so I also asked the very same question in regards to males, about what males in relationships have to be or what is expected of them. And I said males in relationships have to be, 29% was like protective, yes. And 0% is saying provide the or cover the costs. So there's no need to necessarily focus on the financial aspect, that males have to cover the financial aspects. And then 0% also said that males in relationships have to be non-emotional and reserved. So thank God for that. So that shows it everything is connected. So it shows why the people said that emotional availability is important, the most important thing when it comes to attraction. And then 71%, which is the majority, said that males in relationships have to play an equal role as their partner. So this is the same with the females. And it's so amazing how this is turning out to be. Why am I saying this? Because if you look at masculinity, I mean, I don't know who came up with the idea of masculinity, neither do I know who came up with the idea of feminism, but it's so interesting to see that whether you're male or female, in this case, in this regard, you believe that everyone needs to play an equal role. But at the same time, we get situations where we've got males that are not happy with females playing their role. Now, if we're talking about equal roles, then it means I should be comfortable with playing a role. So there's a lot of contradictions. There's a lot of things that we can't really unpack, and cannot be unpacked by one person. I cannot really go deeper into these issues. I don't really know, to be honest, what is the issue. But what I can say is, for you to either accept or decline, you need to find out. You need to check the background. What is background? Background is knowing exactly why is this person believing in what he believes in. Why is this person acting the way that she's acting? Why is this person constantly expressing herself in this way? Why is this person constantly expressing this type of emotion or reacting in this way? Because there's also a lot of power struggles. And I think that it is highly influenced by such things, where the person is not communicative. Already the person is insecure. The person feels like, whether you're male or female in that situation, but I think it's more dominant when it comes to males, where they will feel like, oh, you are trying to be the man, you are trying to be the male, you are trying to take that role, you are trying to overpower them. Then they instantly become competitive. It becomes a competition. There's jealousy. And I always say this, if there's a jealousy of some sort, then you have just become my enemy. Welcome. Welcome to the land of my enemies. You have just become an enemy. And I should be dealing with you like that. Because what are we doing? Would you really say that you are attracted to somebody that you're jealous of? Would you really say that you're attracted to someone that you're competing with? You're constantly competing, constantly feeling like, I need to be man enough. I need to be woman enough. I need to show this person that I'm an independent woman. And now, if you don't do that, you get males who are like, oh, but you're just chilling and you're not doing anything. And I have to do everything. It is just a lot. It is just a lot, because people don't understand the idea of compatibility. Who are you? Where do you come from? Why do you say the things that you say? Why do you do the things that you do? Why don't you do the things that you don't do? Find out. Find out why. If you said you're going to call, why didn't you call? Why do you call sometimes? Why don't you call every time you say that you're going to call? Why don't you say when you're about to call? Find out. Be curious. Ask questions. We don't ask enough questions, and yet we want this and we want that and we want that. And unfortunately for some people, if not a lot of people, they come to the conclusion that, maybe I don't need to be with someone. I don't need to even date. I'm not dateable. I don't know if that's a word, by the way. I'm not dateable. So I should just stay single. Or maybe this thing is just not for me, and it causes a lot of depression. It causes a lot of loneliness and frustration and so many things, because as people, naturally, we are attracted to each other. As people, we naturally interact. We intertwine, we come together. That's just how it is. So when people come to those conclusions, it's because there is a big issue about incompatibility. There's a big issue about incompatibility. And this is what I firmly stand on and believe in. Compatibility actually is not the fact that you like blueberry ice cream and I also like blueberry ice cream. Incompatibility is not the fact that you like Nike and compatibility. You like Nike and I also like it. Or we like to go to the same coffee spot, or we get our drinks at the same place, or we like this. That's not compatibility. Let us stop with this vague thing, because it's misleading a lot of people and it's keeping people frustrated. Yes, it's cute. Like, it's nice. If we can go to the same sport and we enjoy the same music, that's but that should be a bonus. That should be a bonus. Because who are you? Who am I? And who are you? Those are the most fundamental things that we should be asking ourselves, so that you are able to understand, who do I gravitate towards? Why is it that this person did this? What is it that they couldn't get about me that I couldn't get about them? There are so many questions to unpack. If you're saying that you're not dating or you can't last in a relationship because you don't have enough money, then why are you dating people with money? Or why are you dating people that don't have? Remember, you said you don't have enough money, right? Don't have enough money. Now, why are you going for people that either have too much money, or just have money that you don't have, or have less than? Because that's an incompatibility. What is the background? What is that person's background? Are you on the same level or not? Even if a person might not tell you their bank balance, might not tell you their salary, that's private and confidential. You're just dating, you're just in a relationship, you're not in whatever the dynamic is, really. You get to define that. But do you really expect that things are going to be great, things are going to be manageable, if you are lacking money and you're with a person that has more money or has no money? Do you really think that everything is just going to pan out well? Do you really think that there's going to be a lot of shame? There's going to be a lot of guilt. And even worse, if there's no communication, it's just going to be a mess. So that is an incompatibility. It's not about the fact that you like pizza from wherever and I like the same pizza. No, it's not about that. It's not about the fact that on Saturdays I like to go to this place and chill and do. It's not about that. If you drink and you are a drinker, you are a heavy drinker, and you're with a person that drinks occasionally, and yet you're saying you're attracted, and you know, you can make it work, I don't know, then what's going to really happen when the heavy drinker has really drank a lot of drinks and you just drink like that one time, just have a glass of this and that? Like, what's really going to happen? There's going to be a lot of conflict. And then you wind down and you say that, maybe I'm not so attractive, but let's stop with this thing. Can we just stop with this whole thing? Why are you with a person that drinks occasionally? Why? Find somebody who, it's just a whole entire thing. And then you get people that are saying, no, but if I'm a heavy drinker, I don't want a partner or whoever to be also. Like, that's an incompatibility. That's going to be the root cause of each and every problem, really. And I'm just throwing out examples, but there are so many things. And at the end of the day, it's really important for us to know who you are, who the person is, who are you dealing with, where do they come from, why do they do the things they do, why do they have the same habits they have. I cannot emphasize this as much as I've emphasized it already. So thank you so much. This was a lot, and I really hope that we can start thinking and shifting our mindset around dating and relationships and all the other topics that I have managed to cover. And of course, these are just generalized statements. I am not an expert, I'm not a relationship expert, and I am not giving any therapeutic advice whatsoever. If you want to absolutely go ahead and get that kind of help, I advise that you consult a professional, an expert who is skilled in these kinds of topics. So thank you so much, and thank you to everyone that participated in the polls. Remember that if you want to, you can always do so. Just follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Let's take care of our mental health and stay healthy. Bye.